Hey guys, this is Anita. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the books I read in both August and September. By the time I was ready to film my August wrap up, it was the end of the September, so I decided to club them together. I read total 11 books in these past 2 months, 4 in August and 7 in September. Out of them, 1 is 3.5 star, 2 or 3.75 stars, 3 or 4 stars, 3 or 4.5 and 1 and 2 or 5 stars. I'll talk about these books from my least favorite to most favorite. 3.5 star book is a sequel to a 4-star read, so I'll start with the books I rated 3.75. First book I want to talk about is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I wasn't planning on reading this trilogy. When I found BookTube in the beginning of this year, channels I watched mentioned that Shadow and Bone trilogy is just average, but Six of Crows duology is very good. So I decided to skip Shadow and Bone trilogy and picked up Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, and I really enjoyed them. But then Netflix released Shadow and Bone show, and it included characters from Six of Crows. So I decided to go ahead and read this series. Shadow and Bone follows Alina, who grows up in an orphanage along with Mal. They both are good friends and enlist in army. As part of their assignment, they travel to this dark place called Shadowfold, which divides Ravka and blocks their trade routes. This Shadowfold is filled with these creatures called Vulcra. So while going through this Shadowfold, they get attacked by these creatures and Mal gets hurt. While protecting Mal, Elena unlocks her Grisha power. So who is Grisha? Grisha are these people who have magical powers. Some can manipulate elements like fire, wind, some can manipulate metal, and some can manipulate our heart rates. Elena's power is to manipulate light. She can summon light and manipulate it. These creatures are scared of light, so they turn back. Then she was taken to Grisha head called Darkling. Darkling believes that Elena is the key to destroy the Shadowfold, so he brings her to Grisha headquarters to train her. So the rest of the story follows Elena, whether she is able to control her powers, whether she is able to destroy the Shadowfold. I wasn't expecting to like this book, but I really enjoyed it. This is fast paced, world building is good. My only complaint is we get everything in Elena's perspective. By 300 pages, we know all thoughts and feelings of Elena. I wish last 50 pages are from Darkling perspective. I'm not a big fan of his character, but I think it would have added another layer. My next 3.75 star book is Dune by Frank Herbert. So what is Dune about? It is set in this galactic empire where each planet is ruled by a different noble family. There is this organization called Guild who manages space travel, and there is this sisterhood who trains girls in reading people's minds and mind controlling, and they send these girls to this noble family so that they marry them to control bloodlines and to get strategic influence. There is this drug called melange, also spice, which is used by these guild navigators to see where they are going, and which is also used by this sisterhood to foretell the future. This drug is only available in the planet called Arrakis or Dune. This noble family called Harkonnen used to control the Arrakis, but the emperor charged this task of controlling Arrakis to House Atreides. So we follow Paul Atreides, who is son of Leto Atreides and Lady Jessica, and the plot against them by House Harkonnen. I struggled to complete this book. It took me almost a month. I really like the setting of the book, and I really like Freeman, their survival tactics, their fighting skills and their perseverance. And sandworms are really cool, but I really couldn't connect with characters. All are larger than life characters, and there is a lot of telling than showing when it comes to characters. For example, Thufir Hawat. Thufir Hawat is this great strategist to House Atreides. He's a Mentat. Mentat are very intelligent strategists who can compute different possibilities like a supercomputer, but he falls into an enemy trap and suspects the wrong person. I understand even great people can make mistakes, but we didn't really see the greatness of it. We are just told that he is one of the best. While I like reading about Freeman and their fight for survival, I really didn't like their internal challenges, duels, and their leadership fights. I understand that this is part of their culture, but I really got bored reading about them. Best part for me in this book are the politics and the scheming in part 3. I really enjoyed the last 100 pages of this book. Next book I want to talk about is Crown of Feathers by Nikki Papato. It follows this world where these warrior queens who are phoenix riders made alliances with regular kings and form one big empire and rule this empire for generations. But 16 years back, there are two princesses who are half sisters. One of them is a phoenix rider and the other one is a regular person. Differences arise between them, and Phoenix Riders rally behind the Phoenix Rider princess and the regular people rally behind this regular princess. In the war between Phoenix Riders and the others, both the princesses die and Phoenix Riders go extinct. The empire is ruled by Council of Governors. They captured and killed all Phoenix Riders who rallied behind the Phoenix Rider princess, and they implement strict rules against animages. Animages are these people who can communicate with animals and who eventually can ride a phoenix. So animages are suffering under this current ruling of the empire. After 16 years, in present time, we follow two sisters, Val and Veronica. Both of them are animages. After the death of their parents, they are raised by their grandmother. But unfortunately, their grandmother is captured. So they escape to this neighboring country called Pyra. They strongly believe that if there are any phoenix riders who survived the war, they'll be in Pyra. They keep searching for phoenix eggs to hatch their own phoenix eggs and to become phoenix riders. I like both Val and Veronica, and there is also this character called Sev who is an empire soldier. I really liked his character arc. I like the world, but I have a problem with the structure of this book. There are these small paragraphs above the chapters. I really did not understand whose perspective those paragraphs are from until few chapters into chapter 2. And we also get these small snippets of history in between chapters. They are not consistent to particular time period, which I had an issue with. But I really like the ending of this book. Cliffhangers are one of the best thing in this book. I gave this book 4 stars. Next one is Heart of Flames by Nikki Papato. This is book 2 in Crown of Feathers trilogy. In this book, we get more details about the war happened 16 years back, and we get more depth into the relationship between those two sisters, two princesses. I really enjoyed reading about that. While I enjoyed the plot of this book, the first half of the book is very slow. I really got bored. The best part of this book are the relationships, both platonic and romantic. They are executed really well. And again, cliffhangers are really the best. But I gave only 3.5 stars to this book because of the slow first half. The next book I want to talk about is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. It follows Nora, who suffers from depression and loneliness. One day she finds herself in this magical library where each book can take her to a different path if she had made a different decision in her life. I really love this concept, but after visiting 3-4 lives, we really see where the book is going, and I was ready for that. But we visit many lives and it got dragged on. But I really love the ending of this book and the message it gave about life and perspective. I gave it 4 stars. The next book I want to talk about is Shape of the Runes by Juan Gabriel Vasquez. This is a historical fiction. Author is a character in this book. This is my first time reading author being one of the characters. Included a lot of details about author's personal life in the book, which is an interesting experience. This book follows 2 assassinations of political leaders happened in Colombia and the conspiracy theories involved in them. I really enjoyed reading about them. I lost track of what is fiction and what is reality. At some point of time, I stopped Google searching and read it like fiction. I really enjoyed the first half of it, but in second half, I lost myself in this web of conspiracies. Really glad to read this book to get to know little about Colombian history. Reading this book, I realized that no matter where we are in the world, our politics are almost the same. I gave this one 4 stars. Next book I want to talk about is Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. This follows Daniel, who lives with his father above their second-hand bookstore. On his 10th birthday, Daniel's father takes him to this magical library called Cemetery of Forgotten Books. His father tells him to pick up any book and it's his responsibility to take care of it. So Daniel picks this random book and reads it and falls in love with that book. That book is written by this author called Julian Carax. Daniel wants to read more of Carax's works, but he can't find any of Carax's books. Through his father's contacts, he finds out that there is someone destroying all Julian Carax's books. One day someone follows Daniel and threatens him to hand over the book. That's when Daniel decides to save the book and find out who is destroying this author's work. He starts investigating Julian Carax's story with the help of a friend. This is a story within a story. It is very well crafted. Characters and plot are interwoven. The way each character fits into this story is brilliant. I really like this book. My only issue is the way sometimes it talked about women. That's why I gave it only 4.5 stars. Next book is An Autumn War by Daniel Abraham. This is book 3 in Long Price Quartet. This is another masterpiece by Daniel Abraham. He introduced this negative character in this book, Balasar Guys. I understand his goal and motivation behind his plans. Since it is book 3 in the series, I can't talk about this one without spoilers. This is a brilliant book, but I gave it only 4.5 stars because I have two issues. The first one is I don't understand one character's intentions. There is no clarity behind his actions. We don't know why he is doing few things. My second issue is this negative character's execution of his plans. I don't like the way author tried to justify this character's actions through other characters by saying, I understand why you did this. I would have appreciated if they added little criticism on how he did it. But still, it is an excellent book. Female characters are really good. I like how interaction between them are handled. And the ending is exceptional, one of the best endings I have ever read. Next book I want to talk about is Empire in Black and Gold by Adrian Tchaikovsky. This is book 1 in Shadows of the Apes series. This is one of the unique fantasy worlds I have ever read. Humans in this world have characteristics of insects. There are different races based on what insect they took these characteristics. They are called kindin, like beetle kindin, spider kindin, fly kindin, ant kindin, etc. We mainly follow Stenwald, who is a college professor. 14 years back, Stenwald along with his friends witnessed an attack by Wasp Empire in a city called Mina. He and some of his friends managed to escape. From the past 14 years, he is trying to convince the assembly members that Wasp Empire is trying to attack their cities of lowlands and they need to unite their armies so that they will be able to defend themselves. But all his warnings are ignored. So Stenwald sends his students to another city called Helleron to gather information about enemy. So we follow Stenwald, his friends and his students and their journey, whether they'll be able to stop the Wasp Empire's attacks or not. World building is fantastic. Though there are many characters, I like the way they are different in their characteristics and their behavior. I really enjoyed this book, but I gave only 4.5 stars because in some places I struggled with the sentence structure, which made me lose focus. But this is a 5-star book for setting plot and characters. And the next book is Dragonfly Falling by Adrian Tchaikovsky. This is book 2 in the Shadows of the Apes series. This book immediately picks up after the events of the Empire in Black and Gold. Maybe after a couple of weeks, Wasp Empire starts attacking lowland cities in multiple fronts. Battle sequences in this book are exceptional. This is very fast paced and there is no single dull moment. I understand that others have problems with this book because of multiple POVs and the scope of this book, but I did not mind them. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I do have issues in this book. I'm disappointed with one character arc. He's just finding the purpose at the end of this book. I hope we can see more and better from him from next book onwards. Also, my favorite character Stenwald does something in this book which I don't like. I don't like that it happened, but I really like the way Tchaikovsky handled it. In spite of these issues, I gave this book 5 stars because I really enjoyed this book. Battle of Colosseum is so good, I would give 10 stars for just that. And the last book I want to talk about is Parable of the Talents by Octavia E. Butler. This is book 2 in Earthseed series. This picks up after 5 years of the events in Parable of the Sever. This mainly focuses on this radical religious organization which rises to the power and starts attacking the communities who don't agree with their principles. We see how Lawrence community is affected and the journey of their members and future of them. This is really a difficult read, but this also surprises us how close it is to reality. I have a separate video for this series. I'll leave the link above in the cards or below in the description if you want to check it out. That's all for now. Please like, comment and subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye bye.